Well, thanks for coming, everyone. This is our third and final series in the entrepreneurship series. We still have a couple other things going on with the rest of our series, but it's kind of trickling down to the end, so check out our Facebook for those. But today we're really excited and delighted to have Colin Austin from New Scooters for Less, a local Gainesville great business. He's going to talk about entrepreneurship side of things, but more so branding and consistency through the amazing social media platforms that we have at our disposal. Okay, so without further ado, I'll hand it over to Colin. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and this will be fun because we have a small group and we can get a little bit more intimate into details about everything that we're talking about. How many of you guys know, like, about me, know who I am? How many of you heard my story before, so I kind of know? Okay, you guys have? No? All right, cool. So I'll fly through it because, I think it's extremely interesting, but it's not like the main focus of today's conversation. So my company is New Scooters for Less, and basically I used to be a college student at the University of Florida in 2000 to 2004. I was the kid that was waiting at the bus stop, waiting for this bus to come pick me up, and then it would just drive by because it was full. And it used to drive me absolutely crazy, and I decided that I was going to do something about it, and so I started a scooter dealership. And in short, this is Career Showcase at UF. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but I get all dressed up in a suit and tie and going around with resumes and handing them out, talking to people. But I just remember every single person I was going to, I'm shaking their hand and giving them my resume and thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm never going to work for you. So it's kind of like one of those moments where you're like, all right, the corporate world or the business world might not be for me, at least that business world. And so we started a scooter company, and of course you guys see scooters everywhere. This is actually from a time where we went on Valentine's Day and put balloons and Valentines on all of our scooters on campus. We like to do some crazy things like that. But now, in March, it'll be 14 years. So we've been doing it for quite some time. And of course, well, I'll say this, we have definitely established ourselves as one of the biggest dealerships in the country, which is really awesome. We, at least, it's awesome to me because it's something I am proud of. In 2015, we were recognized by UF as one of the fastest growing Gator-led companies in the world in the Gator 100. We won a Purpose 20 award, which is for a lot of philanthropic stuff that we do here in the community. I won an Impact award, and we were recognized as Gainesville Small Business of the Year. And my vision is to these top dealerships in the country for these brands, which is kind of unique. And my vision is to obviously make Gainesville the scooter capital of the world. So when I say that, people are like, so what are you saying, Colin? You want 50,000 scooters on the road here? That'll be kind of crazy. That's not necessarily what I mean. What I really want is when somebody thinks of the word scooter, a lot of people now, when you think of the word scooter, you think of Vespa, you think of Italy. It's just that classic feel. When somebody thinks of the word scooter, I want them to think of Gainesville, Florida. I want them to think of the University of Florida, and I want them to think of New Scooters for Less. So that's what I mean when I say the scooter capital of the world. Now, we're going to get into one of my favorite things to talk about, which is social media. All right? And I'm going to go into what not to do and what to do. And I'll tell you this, the biggest thing is to innovate or die. All right? I can't tell you how many people, how many businesses I've talked to personally that have said, Colin, I really appreciate what you guys are doing, but I've had a company for 20 years and we never had a Facebook page. I don't need a Facebook page. We're going to be just fine. And what they don't realize is that some young gun, some new company is going to come up and have a Facebook page, have social media accounts, and really put them in their place. So it's innovate or die. Now, you guys are all super young, and that's nothing for you guys to worry about because I feel like that's something you probably do extremely well. I see this in people who are 50 years old, 60 years old that have businesses that don't get social media. Now, wait, what? It's not all about me? This is a problem. This is what I see with businesses and where they get it wrong. They get online and they start pushing themselves, right? It's all about me. It's all about what I'm doing. It's all about my sale. Sale, sale, sale. 20% off today, 20% off tomorrow. Like, it's just promotion. It's just marketing. They're just pushing stuff down your throat. This is where businesses really, really get it wrong. And it obviously becomes spam. One of the platforms I'm going to talk about today is Snapchat. Snapchat is something that I just absolutely love. And I'm even starting to see this with Snapchat. When people actually take film content on their Snapchat account, and then they go and they start sending it to everybody that follows them. And they start sending it directly, whether it's relevant to them or not. I think that's a very, very bad strategy because that's the new version of spam. If it's relevant to the person and you think they'll be interested in it, then great. Then absolutely send them a snap. But if it's just you taking a snap and sending it to everybody in your friend list, then it's just going to become, again, annoying, pushing it down somebody's throat, and will become spam. Now, this is a company that I think does it excellently. And so I'm talking a little bit about the good, and that's Wendy's. Okay? Does anybody follow Wendy's on Twitter? No? You should, because it's hilarious. This guy right here, Zach says, all I'm saying is that if fast food were a sell, Wendy's would be the mitochondria. And of course they reply, powerhouse, baby. And like everything so many likes and so many retweets. This is one from when it was Kiss a Ginger Day. I actually like the play between the restaurants where Jimmy John's is like, sup, Wendy's? And they're like, this is moving too fast. We're starting to freak. And I have a little video here that I thought was really funny, so I'll let you guys watch it real quick. Is this loud enough?
In a dictionary, Wendy's, what's the difference between Wendy's and McDonald's? Quality. Wendy's, can you find me the nearest McDonald's? My friend wants to go to McDonald's. What should I tell him? Find new friends. Good morning, Wendy's. How did you sleep? Restaurants don't sleep. You could have just said good and left it at that. We aren't here to lie, though. Why are you having a full-blown conversation? If I don't have a Wendy's at my location, what do I do? Move. Wendy's, your food is trash. No, your opinion is, though. Wendy's, you had all the opportunity to grandma check that ass. Wendy's, help me with my geometry homework, and I'll buy Wendy's instead of Jack in the Box. X equals 9. Who needs boys when you got the Wendy's 4 for $4? Am I right, ladies? Who is tweeting for Wendy's, man? For real? I thought that was a McDonald's fries. Wendy's, roast me. Get one of your 51 followers to Wendy's, do you know of any good pickup lines? You dropped your name tag. Your food is pretty good. I have to ask though, why are your burgers square as opposed to being circular? That is a good question. Hold on, let me see. We don't cut corners. Wendy's is on fire in 2017. What should I get from McDonald's? Directions to the nearest Wendy's. 162 retweets, man. I would have been like, Wendy's, how much does a Big Mac cost? Your dignity. Follow me, Wendy's. You won that bet. I'd rap battle Wendy's anytime, anywhere. We just filled up on Mom's spaghetti and we're ready to battle. I'm at McDonald's. What do I get? You should get out of there quickly. My girlfriend doesn't love Wendy's. What should I do? I need some couples therapy, to be honest. You could have just said, break up with her. I would have said, let me tweet for Wendy's. Who got more beef, Wendy's or Soldier Boy? I'm about to check out what Wendy's said with this one. Hold on. Well, our beef is fresh. I'm going to Taco Bell. What do I get, Wendy's? Food from the wrong place. Why do y'all eat at Wendy's? Their nuggets and burgers aren't shit. Delete your account. Oh my. All of this is 2017. We're only on the 6th day. Hello, Wendy's. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Wendy's. BK for the win. Why y'all at Wendy's? Y'all shaking. But they win a participation trophy. Wait a minute. What kind of Twitter ad Is that a Morris code or something? What? I bet you won't give me free cheeseburgers for a year. You are correct. Wendy, send me a picture of how you look. You knew damn well Julius was trying to see what you really look like, Wendy. Come on. Got any memes? Now you look completely different. Wendy's is that, I don't know what. Who is tweeting for y'all? Wendy's, give me a Twitter bio. I asked a fast food restaurant to write my bio because it's 2017 and the world is weird. And he really put it in his bio. As a fellow social media manager, I'd just like to give a shout out to the SM manager at Wendy's for killing the game. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. What? Can you help me out with some free Wendy's? It's for a group project. People out here calling lunch a group project. I'm going Burger King now. You're just punishing yourself. Man, it's getting dark in here and shit. Did you hear Rally's has 4 for $3? The beef has started, literally the beef. Because someone called Thuggy D on Twitter was talking about your beef is frozen, and we all know it. Y'all know we laugh at your slogan, fresh, never frozen, right? Like, you're really a joke. Wendy's coming back at it talking about, sorry to hear you think that, but you're wrong. We've only ever used fresh beef since we were founded in 1969. So you deliver it raw on a hot truck? Where do you store cold things that aren't frozen? Y'all should give up. McDonald's got you guys beat with a dope-ass breakfast. You don't have to bring them into this just because you forgot refrigerators existed for a second. That is why this whole thing started over that, and they not even on Twitter anymore.
So, what makes that so special? What do you guys think? Anybody?
They got attitude.
It's sassy, right? It's engaging. They basically make a brand a real person.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing is making a brand a real person. Here's another example of something they did. This was just recently. How do you compare to Carl's Jr.? And Carl's Jr. replied, LOL, they don't, right? Then Wendy's goes, yeah, for one, if we were going to diss another restaurant, we'd have more than 0 likes and retweets after 13 hours. And then,
Nice. Oh, wow. So they actually waited.
so that's,
Their social media. Did you ever find
What's
out
that?
Who is doing their social media? Too?
I haven't met them personally. They are involved in a group that I'm in on Facebook. There's like a social media masterminds group, and it has like 3,000 people in it. And I know that the young lady who does it is in that group. Somebody told me that she's recently not doing anymore. I don't know if she left the position, but yeah, it's just making the person real, the brand real. Now, going to the next step, one of the things, this is one of my inspirations here. I don't know if you guys know Gary Vaynerchuk, but he often talks about depth versus width. And a lot of people, I don't think really understand what that means. But what do you think depth versus width means when it comes to social media?
Well, it's like something that you can have like a broad understanding of, like that's kind of your width, but then like depth is something that you're really known and like specific about that you can go into really amount of detail.
Correct. So in the social media world, when we talk depth versus width, I look at width as like the number of followers, right? So everybody we get obsessed with like having 5 million followers. Oh my God, that person has 5 million followers. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Like really it's talking about the depth of the relationships that you have and not getting too hung up on the number of followers. I think Gary even says something to the fact of I'd rather have, instead of having 10,000 followers that aren't buying anything, I'd rather have 300 that are, right? So it's talking about the depth and really getting into the relationships and the relationship building. So one of the things that you want to do is definitely build relationships through engagement. This is something that I do all the time. This is specifically Instagram, of course. And now Instagram has features that allow you to engage, right? You want to engage people, and I often like to ask polls and stuff like that. Obviously, I did this with the new uniforms, and this was about 50-50 on the yes, no. I think a lot of times people just ignore comments. I think that's crazy. Whether if it's on YouTube and you post a video on YouTube or get comments on social media, and if you just ignore them and don't engage the people, then it's just gonna disappear. Like anytime somebody leaves me a comment on a YouTube video, I respond every single time. So, and by doing so, you're building relationships. Now, a good starting place, I like to tell people, focus on using social media accounts for customer service. I think this is something that gets passed by the wayside because, again, it goes back to marketing. All of us at business hall, we want to sell something. Here, a good place, using social media for customer service is a great starting place for that engagement. Here's a couple of examples. I love Snapchat. So, you guys see these business cards here? Anytime I sell a scooter, okay, and that person's about to leave with their scooter, I give them one of these business cards and I say, hey, this is my personal Snapchat account. If you ever have a question, if something comes up, you need help with your scooter, reach out to me directly. I'm the founder, I'm the person who started this place, I'll be happy to help you. And then when they actually need my help, and a customer says, hey, I'm so frustrated, I'm like 1 day away from selling Lenny, which is the name of her scooter apparently, who once was in perfect running condition but now is having a problem and I'm sad. And I'm saying, well, will Lenny stay running if you hold the throttle just a little when you stop? And I'm just basically problem solving, helping customers with their scooter. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's touchscreen.
Oh, wow. Whoa, hold on, maybe I need to reset. All right. But basically, these are just customer service things, right? These are just issues. These are questions. I even get questions from customers saying, hey, when's my next service? I can't remember when I'm supposed to bring my scooter back in. And I'll look it up and I'll respond. It's quicker for them. It actually helps my team. It eliminates an unnecessary phone call for my team. And they can get the information that they need. Sorry. Other variables that really matter, speed. And when I say speed, I'm talking about specifically replies. Now, I'm not saying you can no longer have a life, and if that tweet or that snap comes through at midnight, that you should absolutely respond to it at that moment. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you should respond to it as quickly as you can. So if there's been times where I've had customers send me a snap on a Friday night at 10 p.m., and if I see it come through and I'm in a position where I can respond, then I will. And that speed really, really matters. And it's actually, when I was making this little presentation up for you guys, I was thinking back at how much speed matters through the course of business. And I even remember in my early days, I was selling a lot of stuff on eBay. And my business partner and I at that time, we got a lot of, we were getting emails all the time through eBay, just questions, right, about the products we were selling. We even got the first email device, the mobile device. It was called an Ogo, and it was a little flip thing, and you could email on it. And I just remembered that the speed of those replies selling on eBay led to more sales. Because if that customer was emailing another business or another seller on eBay and wasn't getting a response quite as fast, then we were probably locking the sale. And we were doing really, really well on eBay in those early years. So I think speed matters in almost anything when it comes to business, in the micro, not the macro necessarily. But on the day-to-day, if you can get to those responses and make it quick, you're much better off. The other is kind of what we were talking earlier about blogging. Consistency. And this is, guys, this is even tough for us. So this is Austin back here. He's actually our full-time videographer at the shop. And we do a vlog called NS4L TV. And if you go to this domain, it'll take you right to our playlist. And we actually record a vlog of our day-to-day. Right now, it's just him. So he's recording a day and then editing a day and recording a day and editing a day. And it's a lot. But we've even had that challenge, right, Austin, in terms of consistency, trying to make sure that we're putting content out all the time and making sure. I mean, we even saw a decline in numbers because he took a few days off and videos didn't get edited, they didn't get put up, and we were like, dang, seeing that fall just because we're not being consistent is a challenge even for us. So this is actually a video that we took yesterday. I might not share all of it, but I'll share some of it because I think it was pretty funny. But this will kind of show you a look into some of the stuff we do with our vlog. Yeah, scooter. I think we should drive to campus and go take pictures with some customers. Hand out candy.
All right, here we go. Everybody's ready now for sure, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
What's up, Snapchat fam? This is the Snapchat hot dog here. We're headed to campus to go give out some Halloween candy. Because it's Halloween. That's why I'm dressed like this, just in case you were wondering.
Oh yeah, we got a spot up here.
Let me out, I'm stuck.
Hold on, I'll get you up in here.
Hey! Happy Halloween, you guys want some candy?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want some? Yeah! Hey! What's up?
That's me in there. You just got
Candy, happy Halloween! Hey guys, happy Halloween. You guys doing it, filming it? In the house, represent. Hey, what time's class get out so I can hand out a lot of candy? Soon?
11:30?
11:30, what time is it?
11:07.
Okay, 20 minutes. I'll be dead in this thing by the time. The bunny? Yeah, I'm gonna go take a picture with the bunny. Oh, I gotta pull my pants up.
That's probably not the thing
I call
to do
this
hot inside the
the hot dog roast.
super hot in that costume. It was fun to see how many people were actually like recording and snapping it, and how many selfies I took out there.
Special version of hot dog special.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Damn! I'm in the hot dog suit.
Right, so this is just like a segment from. Oh, maybe you guys want to talk about it.
So we can move on to the next thing, but that is a lot of the stuff that we're doing through our vlog is really showing behind the scenes, showing a lot of the fun that we have as a company.
How long are those vlogs usually?
They range. So we've had some, the shortest is probably 3 or 4 minutes, you say? Like 3 or 4 minutes to, I'd say 25 minutes is probably the longest.
Is there one that you find like a sweet spot that like people watch consistently?
I would say the sweet spot is about 10 minutes. So those are all things that you can measure, you know, to get the insights on YouTube and that sort of thing. Obviously, the people, it's interesting because when we post things on Facebook, the attention span is a lot shorter. So it's quicker, like the views, we might actually get 2 minutes. Whereas on YouTube, even though there's less views, we're getting longer. So the audience on YouTube is more subscribed, dedicated to the content that we're putting out. But I definitely think it will grow. It's one of the reasons that we're doing it. So some of the challenges when it comes to social media and a lot of the things we're doing, I get so many people saying that I can't keep up. It seems like there's a new social media platform every other day. I definitely like to tell people my solutions is that if you can't do them all, which I recommend if you can, is to focus on what you like If you like Facebook and Instagram over other platforms, then focus on those more. And obviously, if you can, go where your audience is. Now, 98% of my customers are college students. So Snapchat makes a heck of a lot of sense for what we're doing, right? Obviously, if my customer was over the age of 50, then I probably wouldn't be spending as much time on Snapchat. I wouldn't ignore it because I definitely think it's going to age up over time. So I wouldn't necessarily discount it and say that's not for me. I just wouldn't spend as much time on Snapchat. Another thing that I constantly see is that it's hard to build a following, Colin. Like, there's the discovery within Snapchat. There really is none. It's difficult. How do you build a following? And these are some of the things that have worked for me. Again, going back to the business card, that's an easy way. I put my Snap code on everything. So we have it on the business cards. We have it on our receipts that print out of the register. We have it on our invoice. So the invoices that actually print out, we have it on there. And a lot of these, I think it's kind of cool because these methods actually got us featured in the Huffington Post in terms of small businesses that are snapping their way to success. And it was pretty cool to be recognized by them and have that featured. But it just takes a lot of getting that code out there and letting people know who you are. We also print this on the back of our t-shirts. I don't have one with me, but on the back of our t-shirts right in the middle is the Snapchat code. And I've actually had people, at bars be like, dude, is this like your code? Like, and actually snap it. So it's pretty neat. But that's pretty much it. I definitely want to spend some time or dig into it with you guys in terms of Q&A and what questions you might have about social media. And if I can help in terms of blogging or anything else, we can absolutely talk about it. So you guys have any questions?
Do you hire someone out who deals with most of that? Like you said, you respond to everything, but is it really you or is it?
So currently, I would say everything is me. I have had social media managers in the past. If I hire anybody for social media, they do these accounts only. So anytime you're, messaging me via one of these, my personal accounts are mine. So I'm doing them. There's nobody else doing them. Currently, I am definitely doing all of New Scooters for Less's stuff. I do have my team members. If you see any pictures of customers being put up, we like to do big team pictures. So when we sell a scooter, we'll take a picture with the customer and their scooter and get as much of the team in there as possible. So any of those pictures are being put up by one or two different team members on my staff, but otherwise it's me doing it.
What would you say is the amount of, in proportion from planned stuff to stuff that just sort of happens spontaneously?
That's a good question. I would say, we were even talking about this yesterday. Yesterday's whole hot dog Snapchat thing was 100% spontaneous. And even though it was really excellent and we've had a lot of people talking about it, it's been shared a lot, that kind of thing, we could have executed better by having things like this out there to hand out to people. Being like, we were talking about having the nsfrl.tv card saying, hey, you can find yourself later on, on this vlog. So we could have executed it a lot better if it had been planned. I am very spontaneous though. Those things just kind of happen to me. It's like, all right, what do you guys want to do today? Oh, I got this hot dog suit. Let's go to campus and hand out candy. So it's, yeah, exactly. No, so those types of things could have been executed a lot better. We do some planning, goal planning, that kind of thing, where we want to see the vlog go, brainstorming, idea creation. The truth is with the vlog, the challenge is keeping content fresh because obviously we're at the dealership and we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. We're servicing scooters, we're fixing scooters, we're selling scooters. And if you just keep showing content that's just that, then it gets very boring. But some of it's very interesting, like even seeing how I handle a problem with a customer or seeing how we deal with a team member who got into a scooter accident or, seeing us expand the dealership and renovations and a lot of that kind of stuff is very interesting. But when it comes down to the core of it, we're doing sales, service, and rentals and storage, that kind of stuff. If it's over and over and over again, can get very boring. So we have to find ways to either enhance the creative or come up with things that are going to bring the audience more value. Where I want to see more is engagement from people who are watching. So I know what they want, whether it's another scooter dealership and they say, hey, like, how do you guys do this in your business? That would be great to know what they're interested in, so that way I can incorporate it into the vlog. But right now we're not getting a ton of engagement on the vlog because it's still really new.
How do you invite them to, I mean, other than the things that you talked about, the cards and stuff, like, how do you invite them to engage with you?
You just have to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of the same way when I watch other people's content. I don't leave a lot of comments. I watch, I'm interested, I'm learning stuff, but I'm not necessarily answering the question of the day or, or the things that they do to try to enhance engagement themselves. So, but you just have to constantly keep doing that and keep asking questions. Just like you at the end of videos where you say, hey guys, if you found this interesting, please subscribe. It's the call to action. So having a call to action, hey guys, tell me what you want to see. Do you like this vlog? How could we provide you more value? It's amazing. Honestly, if you ask questions, it's amazing. You'll get some responses. I do that all the time with Snapchat. I've actually, during our renovations and stuff, I would take snaps of paint colors and be like, guys, this color, or this color. And I'd get responses, and it helped. So, and it was engagement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Does constantly being on make you crazy?
Being on?
Like on and stuff.
I love it so much.
I love it too, but then it's like I need to detox sometimes. I'm just like I'm gonna go through phases of where I won't put anything on Instagram. I'm just like done for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if there was more engagement, I'd feel more compelled to do it.
Maybe. Why do you think? Is it just? It's just wearing? Is it an energy thing? Is it? What specifically?
Yeah, it's basically I don't know. I think I'm expecting so much more. I mean, we're very new, obviously, so I'm expecting so much more of a response. And when that doesn't happen, I'm just like, okay, I don't want to waste my time on that. I'd rather write emails and do stuff. And also, I mean, that ties into a question that I wanted to ask you. That you know very well that your target market uses Snapchat. When you're in the process of figuring out what your target market is, what age group and demographics and all of that, what should you do for your social media strategy?
Just do it all. So, do you not know the demographic of the customer?
Well,
Or you're still trying to figure it out?
Yeah, still trying to narrow it down. So I use LinkedIn a lot for property managers. So people that I've met or I've talked to over the
Can you give me just a little bit of background? Is it businesses that are your customers or?
Yeah, it's actually both. So the end user is always different from the direct customer. So we're a subscription box service for Airbnb, vacation rental, those to welcome
Okay, I've seen it. Yeah.
And basically, the volume sales that we do are to property management companies, so the people that manage Airbnbs, vacation rentals, or our platforms themselves, with a fair amount of listings on there. But through the subscription model, we are trying to target hosts, someone who has one property or manages 5 on their own, and they don't go to an external company. So they might be doing welcome kits on their own. They might be expanding, so they don't have time to actually put these things together anymore. But then the end user is actually never our direct customer. So through social media, we've been able to get travelers and users of Airbnb and vacation rentals very excited. But because it's more of a B2B2C model, it gets a little interesting in terms of how to do it.
Instagram and Facebook for sure.
Yeah.
Pinterest maybe, because and I say this because of the picture qualities. And when you think of vacations and the thing, you're seeing a lot of that. Instagram is huge, right? You see people's vacation photos and pictures of the beach and just perfect pictures. So I would definitely say that, and Instagram's great because in terms of hashtags, I have to think that people who do that type of thing, host, travel themselves.
Yes.
There's a comfort there, right? So I think finding those people who travel, maybe doing a lot of the travel hashtags and that sort of thing, could be really, really big. No matter what you do, it should be very consistent. So you don't want to get worn out. You don't want to, I mean, Instagram, and I believe me, I feel it too. But Instagram should be minimum of 3 posts a day. Yeah, but it should be a minimum of 3 posts a day, constantly just, spread out over time, like things that are going to create that engagement. You should use 30 hashtags because that's what you're allowed to use.
Yeah.
I mean,
have a set of like 30 hashtags that I'll just copy paste.
And you should vary them too, though.
Yeah.
Don't just get like in the hack of like, because as soon as you start looking at social media as soon as you start looking at it as a task, I have to check this off my list, it's doing you no good. Okay? So if you're using it as a strategy of like, okay, I'm going to use this and I'm going to engage with people and I'm going to build my business and I'm going to offer customer service, then that's a much better route because now it's a part of your strategy versus a to-do item.
Right.
You know what I mean? Too many of us have it as a to-do item. I'm being told this is important. I'm not passionate about it. I don't really want to do it. Check. And if that's the case, which it sounds like it could be, then you need to find somebody who will give it the passion. So whether it's outsourcing or whether it's finding a really good intern or somebody who can do it. I'm like, out of all social media platforms and even the one that's not represented here, I really don't like Pinterest. I mean, I know it's primarily female anyway, but I know that we missed some opportunity. For a long time, we had what we called a Pintern. She was our Pinterest intern, and she did a really good job. And as soon as she graduated, or as soon as she left for the semester, like that, I didn't fill it, and I need to, like, and I know that, but Pinterest is just not. I'm not as in it as I am with these others, so I know that it's not really doing me much good right now. You know what I mean?
Have you tried something that just didn't work? Like, have you been on a sort of social media platform and just said, this isn't working, I'm not getting response from my target market? Have you tried stuff that didn't work, or have you been pretty good at picking the things that you think are going to work?
I know it works, and the things that I've done have worked really well. There's been campaigns that could have been better or didn't work very well.
But no platforms that you tried where you're like, yeah.
I'll be honest, I have not tried advertising on Pinterest, though I have friends who are telling me that I should, and it's just because I'm so into Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook. Again, it's like I know where my favorites are, and that's where I engage the most. I would definitely say if it's too difficult to juggle everything, then find the ones that interest you the most and go all in. Definitely go, like, I'm definitely all in on Snapchat. There's not a day that goes by where I did not snap about something happening at the dealership, or in my life, or my kids, or what, all of it. And then there's things like Instagram stories, which, these new features are just awesome. I mean, you can, for example, on Instagram story, if I do a snap from my dealership and then I grab the location tag and it's tagged new scooters for less, well, that will put it into the Instagram story for Gainesville, and I instantly get more views. So like today, I'm taking, I have a scooter that I'm discounting. I'm trying to move some inventory. I have like brand new scooters for like $8.99. It's like massive sale, like inventory blowout. Like, get these out of here. And so I took just an Instagram story, just showing, hey guys, like $8.99, just showing the scooters, and then I put the new scooters for less tag. And so when if somebody watches Gainesville's Instagram story, then they're seeing that. They're seeing new scooters for less. They're seeing $8.99. So it's marketing the company.
How do you get that in the Gainesville story, or you just hashtag it? How do you get that part in the Gainesville?
By just doing the location tag.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like when you hit the like little icons that have the pictures and the stickers and stuff like that. You do that, and it has the location. And it says new scooters for less, and you just select the location. So, and that works really well. And I know, like, that kind of goes against what I was saying earlier in terms of like marketing. Don't get me wrong. We obviously market sales, things that we do special. It's just you don't want that to be the bread and butter of your social media. You don't want to be doing a sale every single day on social media. So, you had a question earlier?
Okay. But I was just wondering, like, what are the highs and lows of having your own business? I think you talked about kind of the entrepreneurial blog that you're about to do.
So every day is a high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, like, the more successful days are the days that you hit milestones. Like last year we sold 813 scooters, which was the most scooters we had sold in 1 year. And that was a huge milestone, and because it was up from like 650 the year before or something. So it was a huge number. And anytime we have like a really, like profitable year or anything like that, that feels good, right? Or the month, like August, we sold 311 scooters. That was the most we'd sold in 1 month, 311 units, and those are just huge milestones. And so I'm always at my highest when I'm like, yeah, dude, we crushed it. Like, yeah. So like, now the worst, I'm very good about keeping myself in check. So, because I actually got in this conversation last week with another group that I went to, and every day, like, I can keep myself in check by just saying, you know what, like, even though this day was just terrible, at least my kids aren't the kids in the hospital dying of cancer. There's always somebody who has it worse. And so that kind of stuff really just kind of keeps me in check. And I'm so, like, just grateful for that kind of stuff, But, of course I have bad days. There's days where you have a customer that you couldn't really make happy, or my worst day was probably in January of 2006 when my business partner at the time dropped a proposal on the table to split the company, and he wanted to end our business partnership. Like, that kind of stuff is obviously very, very difficult to go through. But hindsight, when I look back, I'm like, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I've had my own company now, 100% owner since 2006. I got to build the team that I wanted to build. I've got an incredible team. I got to build the culture that I wanted to build. We have an incredible culture. And there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to make Gainesville the scooter capital of the world. Yeah. It's sometimes convincing them, my team, it's, and getting, investors, the people that are backing us to believe it too and see my vision. Because when you look at me and I start talking about it, there's no doubt, like he's going to do it. But over time, it's the patience, man. Like, it's patience. A lot, even with the social media stuff, like, you don't see the results right away. So it's like, oh, maybe I should spend more time on the emails because I feel like this is more important. Like, you just have to be extremely patient with it and very consistent with it, because it will. But we have the same conversation about the vlog. Like, I know it's going to work, but when you don't see the results right away, and you've only been doing it for a few months, it's like, all right, can I be patient enough to really see this thing through? And you have to be able to see it through.
Yeah, where'd you come up with that idea for the vlog? Was it just like, this is the thing that's happening?
So there's entrepreneurs that I follow that have done it and had much success. And there's actually a handful of them. And all of them that have done it consistently have had proven results. When people ask me, why are you doing a vlog? It's because I want to make Gainesville the scooter capital of the world. I really believe that leaders lead. We want to be, if we want to be number one in our industry, then we have to act like it. We have to start making moves that are going to prove it and show it. We're already one of the top scooter dealerships in the country, and that's, like I said, that's a really, really cool feeling. But I want to help other dealerships. I want people to see the way we do things. I want to help other entrepreneurs, other businesses, startups, people in this community, like whatever. I want people to look at what we're doing, and if it's learning from our failure so they don't make it themselves, great. Then I help somebody. But I truly believe that at the end of this, it's going to show that we made Gainesville the scooter capital of the world, and that we are the leading scooter company forever. So hopefully I proved myself right.
Well, I mean, like, that has to come up with the, like, idea in the back of your mind, like, oh, we're making Gainesville the scooter capital of the world, but does that also mean that you're bringing other dealerships along with you for the ride? But it's like you're distinguishing yourself from them in a really distinct way. Because, you know, like, when people think of Gainesville, yeah, they're going to think of scooters. And then it's like that kind of repercussion is bringing those other dealerships along with you, if you like it or not.
Right. I can definitely tell you, you know, questions and things that we've talked about that we weren't sure of, like, okay, here we are opening up our entire business to our local competition.
Yeah.
Like, we know that they watch.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we okay with that? How transparent do you want to be?
Yeah.
And we've done a good job. I know that as this thing develops and as it gets stronger, that I'm going to become more transparent. There's obviously details about like things that happen with team members that we can't necessarily get into the details about and that sort of thing. So there are challenges to it. I don't really care in terms of other dealerships in other, you know, parts of the nation. Like, I know that they watch. In fact, I would say that our biggest audiences are other scooter dealerships. And then I would say local businesses, people who are familiar with Gainesville, because there's a lot of things that are happening. You know, in our vlog, you'll see me speaking to the city or doing different things around the city, and it's great to be like, oh, like, I know where that place is, or, you know, they can relate to it. They can see the Snapchat hot dog on campus and be like, I know exactly where that is, so they can relate to it. And then the third is definitely customers. I mean, we have, I've definitely sold scooters in the short term because of it. I've had parents who did, I got on the phone one time and I had a parent tell me, like, yeah, I just did a marathon of your vlog. And like, you're definitely the scooter company we're buying for. So I know in the short term, it's helped bring in business too. It's been something that has distinguished us from our local competition. But I also know that it's going to make every scooter dealership and every competitor that we have better.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah.
If some of your team members are students that have a variety of, I guess, academic aspirations, how do you ensure their transferable skills? This is like not connected to social media, but just like how are you still building your team to be leaders beyond the time that they're with you?
That's a good question. I mean, for me, it's about giving them as much of my time as I possibly can. So just in mentorship, I think a lot of the times, even for the people who are full-time, you know, we're still a young company. Like, it's not like we bring a ton of like awesome Fortune 500 benefits to the table. You know what I mean? Like, I want to provide medical insurance to my team, and I haven't been able to provide those kind of benefits yet. You know, so the benefits that I can offer are my time. You know, and like, I'm very financially savvy. So like, if they want to sit down and go over their personal budgets and things like that, like, I'm more than willing to offer my time to help them there. And the leadership that I instill in terms of, well, especially even for our part-time college students, I think it's very unique to work in a position like ours, or in a job like ours as a college student, because I've been able to get the buy-in, because those young adults definitely feel like they're contributing to something that's much greater than themselves, and they definitely feel we get their buy-in in other ways too. I mean, in terms of we give paid time off to our part-time college students. We do profit sharing with our part-time college students. So things that I would say most college businesses don't do, we definitely do things like that. But I just try to instill as much of my values in them as I possibly can. So that's why we try to find team members that have the same core values as our company. We have 12 core values. That's what I hire by and fire by. And by finding people that have those values, then they have my values. And then I just try to spend as much time with them as I can. I don't want to say I'm like a parent, but it's very much like a parent relationship, you know, like I look at them as they're my own kids and I want what's best for them. And a lot of times it's not a position with us. Like we'll find out that it isn't right for them and I'll try to help them find something that is. But it's that I just try to give them my time.
You know how the retail companies hire for like holiday because it gets busier? Do you guys hire for August?
So it's something that we're getting better at. One of the things that we've had success with lately is hiring people who used to work for us. So we have a couple team members, even if they can't. We have one team member who actually has another full-time job, but she'll come and work from like 5 to 8 p.m. in August and do like paperwork and administrative stuff. So she's been an incredible help there. And then we get, even for back to school weekend, I mean, it's crazy. Like of the 311 scooters, we sold 42 on back to school Saturday. So there's really a weekend that's just absolutely chaos. Out of August, there's a week and a half that's just really, really busy. And then the Friday and Saturday before school start are absolutely insane. And if we can get a couple of them just to come back and help that Friday and Saturday, then we're really good. My personal assistant as well. So I have a personal assistant. She has her own company, which is an event planning company. So she brings in a couple of her team members. And that's really helped as well because even if her team members are walking around handing out waters to customers and just kind of helping with the flow, that has helped tremendously. So it's like, because it is kind of an event, so they kind of just run it like it's an event. But yeah, and you guys have some little swag, phone wallets. You have my business card. You can absolutely reach out to me anytime. Anything I can do to help, just let me know. And thanks for letting me come in today. It was fun.